Tiny Supers Speed Shot is what I'm calling them, with either one or two players. Tonight we have one player, but using Tiny Supers from Gallonite Games and Alan Barr. The title of this one is Bow Down Before Me. The quick backstory of the big city that we're in, which the name doesn't matter, we're in some big huge city somewhere, is about a month ago, one of the fellow superheroes in the city, which you would know that the superheroes and villains are well known throughout the city as far as they're common, even though maybe some of them also have their own secret, not public identity that they hide. But if the public sees a superhero, they don't think anything about it. It's like seeing a police officer on the corner. But about a month ago, one of the superheroes, and let me show you a picture of him, by the name of Crusher Crane. Crusher actually had a secret identity and was not known to the public. But an unfortunate event about a month ago happened where his public real world life name came available. And a few days after that, Crusher disappeared, and none of his fellow superheroes has had any contact with him since then. He has disappeared and supposedly they say went into hiding, but we will find out if he shows up in this adventure or if he's just a red herring for this. But basically, Crusher has been missing for about a month or so. No one's heard from him. And Mike, I'll send it over to you, my player tonight, if you'll tell me about your superhero and maybe what their relationship was with Crusher, how well they were friends with him, or if he was just seen in passing.
Tonight I'm playing Bobby Brimstone Mackey. Bobby's a sort of a middle teen. Got his start by magical means, quite by accident, having decided to sneak with his friends into the steam tunnels of the local college to play D&D. They decided to spice up the game a little bit and drew a few circles and did a few candles, and eventually something bizarre happened, and Bobby found out that he began to smolder and burn, and he actually began to grow horns. Later on, he was discussing something with his grandmother, and Granny informed him of an old family curse and pact that they're descendant of witches, and if they had ever meddled with witchcraft again, that they would be owned by the devil. So Bobby has taken on the name of Brimstone, as he's got this very demonic look to him. He's kind of gone into hiding, like any embarrassed teenager, not exactly sure what to do. So he spends most of his time in a large red hoodie that's frequently seen smoldering, but it looks like he's smoking most of the time. He's got these large work boots that he stomps around in, and has leather work gloves, and his weapon is basically a large piece of rebar that he's got wrapped around the end with a bunch of tape for a handle. He's kind of looked up to a lot of superheroes, and I'm not sure if he's had any run-ins with Crusher, but he's looked up to him, but now that he sees himself as this abomination, he's not sure if he's good or if he's bad, and so he's trying to avoid everybody at all costs. His idea is, when he hears that Crusher Crane is gone into hiding, he's just as happy for him. Maybe he'll run into him, and maybe he won't. But he's more like to each his own. Right now, he's in hiding himself.
All right, perfect. It sounds maybe that Crusher and Brimstone have something in common, or could have something in common, it would seem. But when would be the last time maybe you would have had contact with any of the other supers at the headquarters of the superheroes? Since you've been hiding, have you kept in touch with any of them at all lately?
No, he's actually, because he is confused as far as what is he really. Because there's a part of him that he's still got this heart of gold and he still feels like he's this really good kid. But he's got this appearance of this demon. And so for him, if people are judging him by his appearance, even though he's seen other superheroes that look equally strange, he still is very self-conscious, and he's been basically doing his crawling around at night, and it tries to avoid contact with people at all. If the bigger superheroes are around, he's just as happy to let them handle a situation. But if he has to, he'll step in just because he feels like somebody has to protect people.
All right, sounds perfect. It's probably mid-morning, maybe about 10 a.m. or so one morning. And would Brimstone just be getting started for the day? I mean, does he sleep in, or would he already be out, maybe in the town somewhere?
He's probably just waking up, since he tends to keep like a third shift life.
All right. Yeah, he gets awakened and either has his coffee or his a power drink or whatever he has to get going, and he hears his phone make a go off, and you would probably have your phone set to probably some type of tone that if it's a little bit different, if it's coming from maybe one of the fellow superheroes, and sure enough, it's that tone that goes off, and it is Brimstone looks at it. He sees that he's received a message that shows to be from Crusher, and it says, "Hey, if you're not busy, meet me at the Newertronics Building. I'll be on the rooftop. Let me know as soon as you can."
And yeah, he just texts, "On my way."
And you would know the Newertronics Building is one of the larger office buildings in the downtown part of the city. It's named that per se because most of the offices are for either something involving computers, electronic type businesses and stuff. But and you would know Crusher, with his powers, you would have known Crusher was more of a strength type superhero. He didn't have any abilities as far as involved any type of electronics or computer aid or anything like that. So
Right.
you may find it a little strange that you're meeting there, but then again, maybe it's he thinks it's out of the way to meet him there.
Yeah, it is out of the way. And since he enjoys running around rooftops too at night, yeah, he has no problem. He'll head over there right away.
Yeah,
And
as you make your way there, it's a public building, so access is easy to come in and out. And, you take the elevator up to the top floor to get roof access, and as you come up onto the roof, you're stop and adjust because you see something that is not really what you expected. You see Crusher there. He's wearing civilian type clothing, though. He's not in his outfit. But it's Crusher, and he appears to be in some type of force field, almost like a cage. And he looks very weakened, in a very weakened state, and very dehydrated and stuff as you approach him. And he looks up to see you, and he goes, "You're Brimstone, right?"
said, "Hey, Crusher, what's going on with you?"
"I'm not doing too well. Here I done lost count of days now. I've been here I don't know how long, but he starts coughing. And you see him reach down and pick up a water bottle, and he takes a drink of some water. He says, Here's, I guess weeks ago now, my identity was found out by accident. It got released to the public, and that kind of devastated me. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I wanted to try to protect my family and friends, but now everybody knows who I really am. I needed a few days to just get away from things. Well, I got contacted by one of our supervillains in the city. He wanted to speak to me and saying that he could help me maybe establish hiding and stuff to get away from all of this. And well, I should have known better, man, but I was so down and so low and stressed out. It turned out to be a trap, and he's got me in this force cage here, and he's taking care of me as far as water and food and stuff, but he says that if I want to be released, that I had to contact one of my fellow superheroes. And man, I'm sorry, but it was you. It was you, because I know you're kind of like me. You kind of stay to yourself, and you kind of do what you need to do. But I guess we had a lot in common. But he told me to say this: you have to go to the warehouse district downtown. You have to go there tonight. There'll be a briefcase there that has a key in it, some type of key that will take away this force field or whatever he says. But if you bring it back, you're supposed to be able to release me. But anyway, after you release me, man, I just want you to go on and do what you want to. I've made an agreement with him. If he won't hurt you and let me go, I've made an agreement. I'm gonna leave town, man. I'm gonna retire. I'm not going back into the superhero business.
So wait a minute. You're asking me to let you out of this trap by going into a trap? I mean, Crusher,
Yeah.
I might be a kid, but I'm not stupid.
Well, I know, man, but I think we can trust him. I mean, I don't know. He's a villain, of course. I guess I'm kind of, I don't know, man. I'm just not thinking clearly, but maybe you can make some type of deal with him.
Well, dude, you want like an oatmeal bar? I can give you like an oatmeal bar, and I got some Gatorade or some Power Up or whatever.
Well, man, you won't be able, if you try to break through this field, it hurt me, and I'm already down as it is.
So I just gotta go get this case.
Yeah, you're supposed to go get this case, and it's supposed to have, he calls it the golden key. He's arrogant, of course, arrogant in talking and his way about him, but it's supposed to have this golden key that if you bring it back, you're supposed to be able to release me, man. Then you can just go on your way.
And then you're free and I'm free?
We're free to do whatever we want to do. But I'm leaving, man. I'm leaving town. I've had enough of this life.
Okay, so what you think I should get this key then? Or I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's it a key for you or is it a key for something else?
Well, he said it's a key to open up this force cage and I'm in, but man, I don't know. If I know if you don't go get it, and when he sees that you don't show up tonight, I don't know what he's going to do to me, man. You may never see me again alive.
Well, I won't do that. I mean, I'll go get it, but I mean, I don't know if I have to give it to him. Can I just open it up myself? Is there like a key thing there?
Yeah, roll me. Unless you have something that maybe will give you advantage for like investigation, just roll 2d6.
That's 5 and a 6.
Yeah, you look around and you see maybe the way this deal's kind of phasing in and out. You see that it does appear that it phases into what appears to be maybe some type of key lock or something. It kind of shimmers in and out. You can definitely see where there would be what you would think would be a deal to place some type of key there.
Well, the Crusher, I'm kind of good with locks. I mean, I could try just open it without the key. I mean, there is a keyhole there. I mean, maybe I could just open it up and we don't need to. I mean, sometimes a coat hanger is better than nothing,
Man, I'm telling you, I'm afraid if you don't do it like he wants it done, if you try to use something else besides the golden key, but he calls it, I'm afraid it's gonna, man, you're gonna hurt me in here.
Okay. Well, I don't want to do that. I'll go. Okay. I'll go. I'll tell you what. I'll go do it, and yeah, I'll go do it, and I'll see if I can sneak it up here, and without him knowing. Is that cool with you?
Yeah, man. Let me. I remember the address, and he gives you an address, which you would know would be kind of the downtown district where the warehouses are, a lot of the old warehouses, and he gives you an address. He says you're supposed to be there at 9 o'clock tonight. Don't come early. Don't come late. Be there at 9 o'clock, and the door will be open.
Okay. Well, it sounds like a trap, but I'm going to trust you on this one. Don't worry, Crusher. I got your back. I got your back. I'll take care of this.
One more thing, man. I hope he's not listening, because if he is, I don't know, but it's Lord Vane.
Lord who?
And Lord Vane. I'll put it in chat. And also roll me a 2d6 to see if you would know anything about Lord Vane.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you know Lord Vane is a very pompous, very arrogant. He's one of the villains that, he kind of thinks he's better than anybody. And you would also that he deals a lot, and his powers seem to be involving telekinesis. A lot of it does.
Okay. Oh, so it's that guy. Okay. Well, I just have to stay out of his reach then, right? Do you know what his reach is?
No, man, I never battled him before, Every time I always heard about him, he was always, just running his head, and I could say he's pretty arrogant.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, a little rebar to the head sometimes readjusts things.
Well, I hope you're able to do that, because I wish I could have punched him out before he, knocked me out.
Well, don't worry. Like I said, I'll get the key, and if he's being straight with us, then hey, then we're good, right?
Yeah, and like I say, man, if you want to continue to lie, if you go ahead, but I got to get away from this. This is just too much now.
Okay, well, yeah, you got a family. I just got Granny, so yeah, no problem. Hey, I'm gonna go check this warehouse out, see what it looks like before anybody else gets there. Although he does, yeah, I'm just gonna go check it out.
All right, man. I guess I'll see you later tonight when you get back.
He said, yeah, I'll make sure I bring you the key. And,
yeah, you're able to leave and go back down. You don't encounter anybody that looks kind of out of the ordinary or nothing. You don't feel uneasy about anything there at the building. Yeah, and you've got most of the day and stuff. What would you like to do the rest of the day before the 9 o'clock hour?
I'm gonna go over by and just check out the warehouse district.
Yeah, and you go downtown, and the address that he gave you, you discover it's at the kind of the lower end, the back end of where a bunch of old warehouses are. But they've been there for years and years, and you discover it looks like an abandoned warehouse. It's not even used anymore. It's a big, large. You would think at least 2, maybe probably 3 stories high, but it doesn't appear. There's no vehicles there. It doesn't appear to be any type of activity going around it at all.
Okay, I'm just going to camp out for a while. I mean, since nobody misses them anyway, I'm going to head up top of. Is there another warehouse of equal size that is there? That if he gets up on the rooftop of that one, you can kind of look down?
There's quite a few of them that seem to be they were probably built at the same time or built to the same specs, and all these kind of in a row there seem to be all abandoned. There appears to be no type of businesses there currently or any traffic going on.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'll get up there. I'm going to just pop up there. I'm going to teleport up there, and
all right.
Then I'm just going to just keep an eye on the warehouse for a while, just to see who's coming, who's going, or if it's just really abandoned.
Yeah, you. How long would you want to stay there? I mean, you've got plenty of time, because now it's probably lunchtime, maybe or whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say he's not worried about school anymore. So, so yeah, as long as he's got his PB&J and his Gatorade, then he'll be all set. He just will camp out, and every once in a while he'll change rooftops just to get a different angle, see if anybody else is coming around.
Yeah, roll me 2d6. Unless like I say, unless you have something that would give you a advantage when investigation.
That's a 6.
Yeah, you kind of jump back and forth, looking at different buildings and all that, and the only thing you notice out of the ordinary is on the actual building itself that you're supposed to go into. Is you see on the rooftop, it does appear there's been somebody up there. I mean, by the dirt and debris that's up there, it does appear recently. It does appear there's been some foot traffic up there. People maybe walking. You can tell maybe you would think maybe two different sets of footprints, but you're not for sure. Maybe it's just one, but you can definitely tell there's been somebody up on the top of it walking around and moving around recently.
Okay, well, I'm going to follow it around.
Yeah, and it seems like that they're, you kind of gather from, what you're doing, your own knowledge, and then what you're doing, it seems to be maybe they were doing the same thing you were doing, kind of scoping out the outlay of the downtown area of where these warehouses are and just kind of maybe getting outlining a look of everything. That's kind of what you feel like.
Huh. Now, if I look over the edge, because I'm on the rooftop of the meeting warehouse, right?
Right.
Is that where it is? So if I look down over top of like where the main door is there any ledges or anything that are nearby there? Or is there anything that's been disturbed in that area?
No, you don't see any of the anything that's in that area that seems to be disturbed at all.
Is there any access on the roof that I can get into the building?
Yeah, there is, access deal where you can, go down and get into the building. Sure is.
Sure, I will quietly, sneakily go down that way.
Yeah, and when you get into the old warehouse, I mean, it the musty smell of kind of mildew and just buildup of dust and dirt and stuff. I mean, you can tell this warehouse hasn't been used for many years. And when you get into the main part of the warehouse, it seems to be 2 stories, 2 tiers of pallets and stuff where they were stacked. I mean, it's almost a double story of storage areas. So, and you still see old boxes. Maybe some of them are rotten, and maybe rain has fallen in and hit some of them and mildewed them. But it doesn't appear of anything. You don't see anything out of the ordinary inside the building.
Okay. I don't actually go down onto the floor. I'll just bounce from beam to beam, and so that I don't notice any foot traffic or anything inside the building.
No, you don't see any foot traffic through any of the dust or anything at all. You sure don't.
Okay, I'll go back up to the rooftop and see where did these footprints actually originate from, besides the top of this building.
Yeah, roll me 2d6 again.
That's a 5.
You're very puzzled. You can't figure. You don't see anything, and maybe where who or whom it was, or exactly how they got on the top. You don't see anything that indicates anything like that to you.
So it's not like I can't tell if they've actually climbed up here, but or if they've teleported or phased or flew up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a puzzle. I mean, it's definitely a puzzle to you because you don't see anything that would indicate it's a normal person that come up by stairwell or fire escape or anything. It's kind of a puzzle. You don't see anything that would indicate, if was it a normal person or maybe was it somebody that had a power to get up there?
Okay. I'll bounce to an adjacent building and just kind of hang out and watch, see if there's anything happening.
All right. Do you want to stay there up until all night, or are you going to leave and come back?
Right up until the meeting time. I mean,
all right.
like I said, it's not like he's going to go home and watch cartoons or something.
Perfect. Yeah, you're on the building then adjacent to to the meeting building, what we call the meeting building, and uh, about if you have your watch or on your phone or whatever, you look, and maybe about 10 minutes before 9 o'clock, you hear something, kind of in the wind or whatever, and you look over and to the meeting building, and this is what you will see. You see this figure landing on top of the building, and you would know that is Lord Vane.
Maybe the V gave it away.
But that is who you see.
Or the arrogance that just exudes from him.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I'll kind of, when I actually see that he shows up, that it's not some, second-rate person that, one of his goons or anything, and that it's actually him, I'll actually, try to find something to hide behind on the rooftop, and I'll actually try to use whatever spell touched to kind of blur the area around me, so that I blend in more with the background.
Yep, you are able to do that without any issue. You notice that he kind of walks around the top of the rooftop. If you observe him, he makes a quick a scan of to make sure he don't see anything out of the ordinary or anybody there. And you notice that he's carrying what appears to be like a small briefcase. Almost what I would describe as, remember the old cassette cases that would hold about 30 or 60 cassettes.
Yeah.
Kind of like something like that. Kind of like a small briefcase. It appears that he has in his hand.
Okay.
And you notice eventually that he opens up the same deal that you went into to go into the main building itself. Maybe he spends maybe 2 minutes up on top.
Okay. Yeah. As soon as he goes down, I'm going to bounce over to the rooftop he was on.
All right.
And I'll creep over the edge and see what I can look down into, and just going to check things out.
You're going to look over the edge of the roof, kind of down towards the street level to see maybe inside the building itself what you can see.
Yep.
Yeah, you notice what appears. Earlier, of course, during the day, there was enough natural light where you could have seen in the building. But since it got dark, there's not been any lights come on. But you do notice seems to be some lights have been turned on inside the warehouse now. Not full lit, but you can tell there's probably sporadic lighting there to light it up now.
Okay. He will cautiously. Does he see where Vane went?
No, you do not. You know that he went down into the main part of the warehouse himself, but you don't know exactly where he is now. You don't hear him in there or anything at all.
Okay. What time is it?
You notice by now, we'll say, he got there about 10 minutes early, you would think. So we'll say now it's roughly 8:55, 5 minutes to 9.
Okay. I'll bounce to a couple of beams just to see if I can locate where he's at or where this little case is at.
Yeah, you go on into the building itself then?
Yeah.
And you do, you notice the lighting that was described. Maybe there's a area of light in certain places, just enough to kind of dimly light up the warehouse. And as you do, roll me 2d6.
Nada. Nothing.
Well, you both are pretty much surprised when you're looking for him, because he didn't notice or hear you coming either. And you kind of surprise each other. And as you walk or, maybe bounce around a corner, you see him when he's kind of set up a small desk and a chair, and he's got his legs up on the desk and kind of cocked back, his very arrogant manner. And he says, "Huh, Crusher picked you, huh?"
He said, "Yeah, I know. It's okay, though. I'll get out of your hair right away. All you got to do is just give me the key."
"Oh, I'm taking it. Crusher told you it was that easy?"
I will. I'll teleport right to in front of him.
Right in front of the desk, okay?
Yeah, because that's what I would normally.
Yeah,
if I'm going to talk to an adult by a desk, I'm going to go stand directly in front of him.
Yeah, and it probably startles him enough. He drops his feet off of the table, and he wasn't expecting that from you, but maybe you didn't hear me well enough. Crusher said it was going to be that easy.
He said, well, he didn't think it would be easy, but I don't know. He just said I had to pick up a case.
Well,
so I'm here to pick up the case.
Well, that's true. That's right. I've got the case with the key that I will release him. And I've also got this. So roll initiative. And it's 2d6 total.
Yep, that's a 7.
He had a 5. So you see him go into a very offensive manner and seems to be maybe holding up one of his arms towards you. But you're able to do whatever you want to and beat him to the punch.
I'm going to teleport off to the side.
All right. Do you want to stay on the ground floor, or are you going to try to maybe because there's different like a normal warehouse. There's probably different pallets that are piled up on some things there, or do you want to just stay on the floor itself?
I'll go to one of the first level pallets.
All right.
Yeah, up and to the left.
All right. We'll say that's one action. Anything else?
Do I see the case?
You do not.
I do not.
And you did not see it really. I mean, you saw it for just a moment earlier, but it appears that it's poof, it's gone right now.
Okay, so the case is gone. Because, well, Mr. Vane, I think you're not being fair here.
What do you mean? You hear him answer back to you. What do you mean? I'm one of the fairest villains there is. I mean, I tell it like it is because I'm the best.
Well, I know you're the best, but look at this. I was told to pick up a case. And there's no case here now to pick up.
Well, the case is here. You just can't see it right now, but I can assure you it's here. You've just got to fulfill your destiny.
Oh, I got to fulfill my destiny. So now you're like this truth teller too?
Well, I'm Vane. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, so what's my destiny then? And he'll teleport to the other corner.
When you teleport to the other corner, he catches the glimpse of where you just went to. And you see him come up out of a chair, and he flies straight up to where you're at. He's looking you almost eye to eye now.
Oh. And well, I will jump back a little bit. And he goes, wow, you're pretty quick, too. I didn't think you were that quick.
Well, I told you I'm the best. I mean, I know you've never encountered me, but I mean, I'm a legend. I mean, they've not told you about me. I mean, surely some of those superheroes have spoke of me.
Well, no, because I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I mean, I'm sorry. I kind of stayed out of, I don't like to make too much of a hass. But, that was pretty awesome. You were great. I mean, I bounced and you were like right there. That's pretty impressive.
I will make you the same offer that I made Crusher. You can join me in my team, and I will train you since you're new at this, and I will be glad to help train you in the ways of being a most magnificent supervillain such as I.
You know what? That would be awesome, but I got to first get that key.
No, it's not going to be that easy, you see. I mean, we'll have to sign papers, and, you have to fill out documents and all that to be part of my organization.
What? What do you mean sign papers? I mean, what kind of superhero makes you sign papers?
Well, it's a government. It's a government regulation. I mean,
Government
of course,
regulation?
yeah,
I thought
usually.
you were a villain. Now you're doing what the government tells you? I thought you were better than that.
Well, it's not the government that you serve. Let's put it that way.
Oh, well, I don't serve any government. You know, I'm just a kid. I'm sorry. I mean, I got my phone. I got a couple of snack bars. You know, I hang out. I got where my mattress is at. I hang out in the morning. That's my life, man. I don't even have a TV or anything. So yeah, whatever you're peddling, I'm interested in, but I need to get the key first.
Well, I tell you what. Let's go. I'm kind of tired of floating up in the air. Let's go back down to the desk and talk for a moment.
Oh, come on. You can't float for a while?
Well, I can, but I don't know. It gives me a headache.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want you to have a headache. And he'll immediately teleport right to the desk and sit on the edge of it.
Yeah, and he goes back down and sits in the chair. He doesn't prop his feet up, but he pulls out not the briefcase that you saw earlier, but he pulls out like a dossier of papers, and he pulls out this big thick deal, and he says, "Well, you're gonna have to fill this out and sign your life. Sign your life over to the organization first, and agree to go into my training organization, and you won't ever be a hero again. You're gonna have to be a villain."
Oh, I won't be a hero?
No, you're gonna be dubbed a villain, because that's what they call us.
Oh, well, that's what the V's for, right? V is
Yes.
villain, or
No, that would be for. My name is Victor. The V is for Victor. It's not. Everybody think it's for Vane, but it's really Victor.
oh, so you're Victor?
Well, that's my real name.
Well, I'm Bobby. You can call me Bobby, Victor. Can I call you Vic?
Well, not yet. You keep calling me Lord Vane.
How about Vicky?
Oh, Lord Vane.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm probably pushing it a little too much, and he'll just kind of lay across the side of the desk and he'll pick up the papers and he just kind of pulls them off and he looks at one and just kind of throws it to the side. Is it all legal gobbledygook as far as you can tell?
Everything you see is a bunch of just. I mean, it would take a whole building of attorneys probably to give you a right representation of what's there. But I mean, you can see what you can tell. Well, I'll tell you what, roll me 2d6 and we'll.
Okay. Oh, that's a double six.
Hey, great! You can tell. You take your time and enough to read and catch on that. Whatever it is, you're pretty much, if you sign this, you're going to be signing your life away to whatever organization he's talking about, and you'll have to go completely against the principles of being a superhero and turn into a supervillain.
Yeah, as I'm reading it, I'm shuffling through the papers. They're just going to go poof into flames in my hand. And I'm just going to look at him, kind of shrug, and he goes, I'm sorry. I can't control it all the time.
Yeah, when you do that, we'll go back into initiative, and we'll keep the same initiative. You're up at 7, so what would you like to do? Because you can see that definitely made him angry.
I'll just jump back and say, whoa, man, I'm not trying to make you angry. I'm just telling you like it is. Look at these hands, and he holds them up, and they're burning and smoldering. He goes, papers don't mix. You got something better than paper? Because, and you'll see my hoodie start smoldering a bit more. I'm telling you just the way it is. I can't help being who I am, man.
He looks at you. His tone of voice is completely changing now, and he goes, "Yes, I do have something for you." And he reaches out and he says, "My headache is worse." And make me a disadvantage test, 1d6.
Okay. That's a 4.
You can feel your whole body as whatever he's doing, and you would know it's probably using his telekinesis as he just picks up your whole body and just takes it and slams it into an area of where these deals or stores, some of these crates and stuff, and you'll take 2 points of damage as it just bodily just crashes right into it.
Okay.
And as you do, he looks towards you and he says, "You had your chance to be famous like I am, but now you will never leave this warehouse." And he flies over to you as his second action. He flies over closer to you to see what damage he's done, and it's back to you.
I'm going to teleport directly behind him.
Perfect.
And if he goes to look, then my next action is I'll teleport in the opposite direction.
Let me see if he notices or feels you behind him. No, you see him kind of looking. He goes, "Now that's not very fair, you know. I mean, I can fly, but you can still see me. Where are you at?"
I go, "Victor, I'm right here. I told you, there's nothing up. I'm just being who I am. Okay? I didn't mean to burn up your papers. It's just, look at this. See?" And he holds up his hands again with the flames coming up, and he says, "I can't help it. You gave me to sign something I can't even hold for long."
Yeah, then when, of course, he turns around and looks at you, and you can tell he still appears to be pretty upset. Would you like to do something with that second action right now?
Yeah, I'll teleport behind him again.
He says, "Well, you won't even stand still long enough to resolve this. I mean, what are we going to do to resolve this?"
Dude, you just threw me into a bunch of crates for nothing. I'm just being myself, and you threw me into some crates. I'm a little scared here. I mean, you're this super villain. I'm just this kid that doesn't know what he's doing. What?
You burned my papers. The papers that would have gave you immortal life eventually.
Okay, listen, I know you're an adult, and sometimes adults have a hard time hearing what us kids have to say. But look at these hands. And again, he holds up the burning hands and goes, "Can't hold papers. You got something like gold or, something more resilient like metal?"
Well, I guess we could just record it. You could read. I've got another set of papers. You could read through the papers, and we could just record it on the recording of your voice, and I guess that would be good enough for now.
Okay, so we're going to record this now?
Yeah, I've got a cell phone like everybody else.
Okay. I'll have to lean over your shoulder then to read. Is that okay?
Fine. That's fine.
I mean, Victor, I'm not trying to mess with you here, man. I know you're this great guy and everything, but and then I pop up behind the desk. Let's just get this over with, and I can get Crusher out of his little box of shame and fear or whatever you put him in, and you'll give me the key, right?
Well, hey, I told you. I mean, I'm Lord Vane. I'm vain, but I'm a man of my word.
That you are. There goes, "You got like one of those metal pens or something?" Because yeah, or we're just doing this whole thing by audio. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we'll just do it by audio right now. I don't have my laptop with me, so we can't go online and do electronic signatures.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I got that. Okay, where are these extra papers?
He goes back to the desk, and sure enough, you see him pull out another dossier of the same papers. And
yeah.
Okay, are you ready? You read through them, and let me push record here.
Okay. At this point, I'm going to use spell touched, and I'm going to erase. I'll leave the document on the top the same, but all the papers underneath, the writing will disappear on. And as he starts talking, then he's just going to go, "Hey man, there's nothing here. You got me a bunch of blank papers."
There's no way. Let me take a look at that. Is it an illusion, or did you actually erase the ink?
I erased the ink.
Okay. Yeah, he'll turn over and he'll go, You just can't get good help. I hire these college girls part time to do copying and editing and stuff, and they can't even make copies of papers right.
Exactly.
I have to do
See, you
everything
need better
myself.
help. I mean, somebody your stature deserves better.
See, maybe you could start out being the copy kid. Hey,
Okay.
that's a better name. Instead of Brimstone, you could be the copy kid.
The copy kid. That has been my life dream. I've always wanted to live in a copy center.
Well, I don't know. I don't have another set of papers. I only brought two. I always bring a backup, but I didn't bring a third backup.
You say you didn't bring any backup?
No, I don't need backup. I mean, for something, backup, as far as papers, but me needing backup, nah.
Well, what's that at the bottom of your briefcase?
Do you ever remember reading comics when you were a kid? There was like Spider-Man and Captain America, and then there was Thor. That's who
Thor.
I am. Yeah, I'm. You can relate me probably on the same level as him. I'm cosmic.
You're cosmic? So that's pretty funny. Well, I mean, not funny as in, I never thought, I mean, it's funny that I never thought I would be sitting here with a cosmic superhero talking about signing papers. This is just like my dream come true. And at this point, his teenage brain is tired of this, and he takes the rebar and smacks him across the back of the head.
Yep, we'll start back an initiative, and you can. In fact, you can do it if you don't already have advantage because of your mastered weapon. You can have advantage on that.
No, his rebar is his mastered weapon.
All right, so. Perfect.
That's a 6.
Yeah, at 1 point of damage or anything give you special.
Nope, just that. Just 1 point.
And what are you going to do for second action?
Then I'm going to disappear myself by bouncing to the second floor as far out of sight as I know as I can get. I mean, I could see the spot, but yeah, I don't want to. I'm going to go that way.
Yeah, you do that, and he goes, "You just gave me a bad headache." And you can tell he's looking to see where you are, but he has no idea.
Yeah, I'm going to bounce. If he's not going to do another thing.
Nope, you can tell that he's trying to use everything to try to figure out maybe where you are, to get a sense of where you are.
I'm going to bounce to the beam above him. And I'm going to line up that rebar, and I'm going to drop right on top of him.
All right. That's perfect. And I'm going to actually say if you hit, this will do 2 points of damage because, I mean, the force is coming down like that.
Right. That's a 5.
All right. You strike into him pretty good, man.
I'll ask him how his head is now. Hey, Vic, how's your head now?
He looks towards you because after you do that, and he shakes and he goes, "It feels like this." And he throws his arm back and uses telekinesis to try to throw you. So make a disadvantage test for me.
Nope, that's a 4.
And you just see him, he just throws you into a different row of crates and stuff, and you'll take 2 points of damage as he throws you into the deal, crashing into them. Okay. And as you're kind of maneuvering, maybe getting back up, trying to get your deal, you see the mask on his face start the white of his eyes as you see this. You feel it as a sonic blast comes towards you, and he will hit with that. That'll be 1 point of damage from this blast that comes out of his eye mask, and it's back to you.
Oh, well, I'm bouncing out of here.
No.
I might be young, but I'm not stupid.
No.
So I look up and I go right. I go for that edge of the place where I dropped down from, where we dropped through the roof.
Right.
Can I see that? If I could see that, that's where I'm teleporting first.
Yep, you sure can.
I'm going there, and and then I'm going to hop to another building.
Yep, you're able to do that. You're able, like that, maybe that adjacent building you were on originally, where you were watching from.
Yeah.
Maybe a few, what would feel like minutes, of course, but it's not. A few seconds later, you see Lord Vane come straight through up on the roof as he flies up, and he's on the rooftop again, and you can tell he's probably searching and looking for you, but he's unable to see you from where you're at in the dark.
I'm going to bounce behind him and smack him again.
All right. You can move over there. There's one action, and you can smack him.
I guess I am stupid. It's that invulnerability, that sense of invulnerability. That's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, and he turns and looks at you, and he goes, "You had your chance to serve Lord Vane, but it's over now, and your friend Crusher will die tonight too." And he takes, and you see, you probably hear it first, because you see maybe like some rebar and different pipes and metals that are probably stored across as they come flying straight towards you. And he's trying to hurl them into you again. So make a disadvantage test.
Yeah, that's no good.
All right, you'll take 2 points of damage as all this jumbled up part of metal and stuff just crashes and straight into you.
And that puts me out.
Yeah, you just feel nothing but blackness as it all hits you and knocks you out. So let's see, he's got one action left, but you're out of it. You won't know what he's going to do. So roll back to you. Roll me your 2d6 to see if you're back conscious.
That's a 6.
You wake up and you find yourself strapped to all this metal, maybe some of the metal that hit you and stuff, but you're strapped to it on top of that rooftop again. And you don't see Lord Vane anywhere around. And you can tell by the time that it's probably, you can see maybe the sun is almost up to rising, maybe 30, 45 minutes from the sun rising. So you know that most of the night has went by.
Okay. And I'm bound by this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you're just tied up. I mean, he's got you pretty secured tie where it's going to take you, some time to get yourself loose from it.
What am I tied with?
Different kind of ropes and stuff.
I'm just going to burn them up.
Yeah, that's easy. You can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm now a naked little demon boy.
But
there goes another hoodie.
Yep, you're loose though, and like I say, you can tell probably it's sunrise is going to be probably 30 minutes away.
Yeah, I'm going to start bouncing across the city to where Crusher was.
When you reach that and get to that building and location where you spoke to Crusher, the force cage is gone and Crusher is gone. No sign of anything there.
I will bounce back to the warehouse then and start sniffing around there.
Yeah, Roman, just 2d6 as you're looking around the warehouse.
It's a 5.
Yeah, you of course you locate the debris and the stuff where y'all had your battles, and the desk and the chair are still sitting there, kind of in the same position it would have been, when you hit them from behind. You don't get any sense of anybody there, anyone there. In fact, the lights it went off. I mean, it's morning time by now. Of course, you can see naturally, but all the lighting and stuff that was on is off. It appears to be back to kind of what it was before all this occurred.
Okay. Um, is there anything laying around that could tell me where he went to?
No, you don't find anything to indicate of anywhere that you would even think to begin to try to search or look for Lord Vane at all. It's all just now a mystery to you.
Okay, I'm going to start bouncing around the city. I'll just teleport rooftop to rooftop until I can find a news crew someplace. There's always one of those live video trucks out someplace.
Yeah, that's perfect. And in fact, this will pretty much wrap up our little speed shot. So why don't you take your outro and tell me when you find a news crew and tell me how the story is going to end for our hero known as Brimstone.
Yeah, once he finds a news crew, he'll just start sobbing, and he'll come walking out there, buck naked, and clearly he's been beat up a bit, and he'll go, "This is what the great Lord Vane did to me, just this poor little kid," and he's doing his best not to smolder and he's trying to keep the horns down to size, and he's just throwing it out there, and he's like, "Yeah, and I heard his name is really Vicky, and that he doesn't. I think I scared him off because he's clearly not the big lord that he thinks he is." And he'll just leave that challenge there.
Perfect. Now I will tell you how the story will end of the things that you did not get to see after you were conked out by the great Lord Vane, known as Victor and Vicky and all his nicknames. This is what you would have seen occur. Lord Vane would have tied you up securely, and knowing you were probably going to be out for a while, he flies back over to where Crusher Crane was, and he takes the little briefcase, and sure enough, he pulls out like an old-looking golden key. He says, "Well, Crusher, your friend did not succeed at joining the organization. I'm going to offer it to you one more time. You can join me and my friends, and one of these days you'll be, well, almost as great as me. Of course, not quite, but almost." And, Crusher looks towards him, and Crusher's, very down. He's like, "Man, just, I'll do almost anything, but I'm retired, man. And please let me go, Lord Vane. I just want to leave town. I'll never take the mantle up again." Oh, Crusher. Did you teach your little friend to lie like you do too? I know you're not going to give his life up. I'm not stupid, I'm Vane. And about that time, you see two more figures fly in. But you don't really get a good glimpse of what they look like. But you see two more figures fly in, and Lord Vane looks at them and he goes, "Well, let's let down the cage and take Crusher to the, well, you know where we need to take them." You see the force cage dissipate, and you see they put some type of manacles or something on Crusher, and Crusher doesn't resist. He's so low and so down, and he doesn't make any resistance. And maybe a day or two later, you see deep down into this dark, appears almost like a cave or a dungeon. You see another, like a cage, and you see Crusher sitting in it. And you see Lord Vane walk up by himself, and he has in his hand this dossier of papers, and he says, "I made sure that these were copied right. Every page is here. All you've got to do is read this and join me." And he takes, and throws the dossier of papers into the cage. And that is how, for now, the story known Bow Down Before Me using Tiny Supers. And thanks to Mike for playing Bobby Brimstone Mackey. And who knows what will happen the next time between Brimstone and Lord Vane. Will Lord Vane be so vain he'll come back and try to find Brimstone and conk him out again? Or will Brimstone sign the papers next time, maybe? But that was it. Thanks for playing, Mike. I will end the broadcast and we can visit a minute.
There we go. Great.